Okay, so the Theme Chronicle Event, let's take a look. This is the build that I'm rocking with. It's Zodiac, as you see. And I started off playing with Monarchs, but that's far too slow. Again, I'm a huge fan of, like, in these events, just, you know, play decks, go second, add in stuff like Lightning Storm, evenly matched hand trap, stuff like that. And especially with the Zodiac engine, go for Zeus, because for some reason that card does not hit. I mean, this event is like the biggest Banlist, right, on Master Duel from all the events. But Zeus is at 1. So let's, you know, slap it in there and try to go for game every time, since Zeus is just far too powerful in these kind of events. So again, I always want to go second, like here, as you know, against GB. GP is somewhat popular in the event, even though it's, you know, super weak to hand traps, like, you know, Imperm or Ash on Test Panther, that's game over. Going first this time, so he let me go first, so we can expect Crusadia, and obviously, I probably should have shotgunned the Mexi here, but I was like, well, he needs the Kaiju, and obviously they always open the Kaiju. I mean, if you saw the decklist or take a look at the decklist, they most of the time main, what is it, maybe 4 Kaijus, but they have it. That's fine. I have multiple answers for, you know, prevent a potential Crusadia OTK, and Nibiru is one of them, and nope. Not drawing it. No Nibiru. And we know that spell, I'm not so sure about the correct name. Power? Well, Search is basically a Forbidden Lands, and even though Imperm was fantastic or would have been fantastic in this situation, nope. Crusadia Power, I'm not so sure about the name, but that card just says no. Basically a Forbidden Land. So, yep, that's how it goes. Pick your hand. Anyway, so this time again going second, and again, like these opening hands are just the opening hands you want to have. 1 Zodiac, maybe 2 Zodiacs. If you have Thoroughblade, go for draw and eventually attack. If I had Whiptail, definitely go for Whiptail because of this. Orcus is also super popular. Attack with Whiptail into, you know, one of your opponent's monsters to immediately banish it, and go for Zeus in main phase 2. And Zeus, against most decks, most of the time that's game. Unless maybe the random Raigeki, they already need to waste an Imperm. But here in this case, I'm a bit ignorant on my part. Should have set the Imperm. I'm not so sure what I was thinking. Like in any situation where you can definitely expect the opponent going for like an... Well, I kind of overlooked Cerberus, that was the thing. It's fine though. So Orcus, I guess Orcus for this particular event is kind of okay-ish. I'm a huge fan of Lightning Storms again in these events. Just go second and potentially blow your opponent away with Lightning Storm to potentially get a fast win, a free win, when they see your Lightning Storm being dropped on their back row or monster heavy board. So this combination is actually quite cool. Barrage Blast is like a continuous trap that once per turn, again continuous, you can detach an amount from a machine exceed on your side of the field. So here the rank 4 machine monster, obviously it's a machine with, you know, your Zodiac cards. It has like, or it could have like, what is it, 4 exceed materials, up to 4 exceed materials. So that's up to 4 pops during both players' turns. So that's fantastic, right? But every time you need to detach the appropriate amount of cards you want to destroy at the same time. And again, as you saw in the list, I'm running Pot of Avarice at 3, simply because any normal summon Zodiac, and that makes your Pot of Avarice live. Should be always live. Unless you brick, and you know how it goes with this deck. It's one of these replays that, even though as you saw on the decklist I'm running, what is it, 10 Zodiacs and 2 Tanky and triple Desires, you still have hands where when you don't draw into a Zodiac. So then Girsu, that's fine, but Whiptail just is indeed going to banish that one. Go for Vespanato. I mean, Vespanato, Machine Ritual again because of the trap. Again, basically free pops as soon as, especially here in this festival where a lot of top tier decks are hit, are weakened. This small combo is strong, really strong. I mean, Crusadia or any deck that mains Kaiju stick and just pop or slap a Kaiju on top of your Vespanato. But still, you're making so many hand traps that even in this case, like here, always go second. But the thing is that in these festivals, like sometimes people pick a deck that are, you know, not too familiar with, and the amount of wins that I'm getting because of this, like, you know, go second, and my opening answer were always fine. Ash, Maxine, Nibiru, the 1 Zodiac Desires, whatever, Lightning Storm. free wins always. Like, strange. It's a huge variety of decks. It's insects as well, even though I don't think this is the more common B-Trooper deck. I mean, whatchamacallit, digital bug, digibugs, right, I believe this one, what is it, bounces back a defense position monster from the opponent, which again, it doesn't matter because you can just slap eventually Zeus on top, not going to put it in a defense position, use the effect, and then that's game. Always. So again, getting some easy wins with this deck. I'm halfway the event, little over halfway. With I already have all the gems. You know, it's like a couple of hours, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe of you know, playing. Again, it's incredible. Just go second. You open good. I mean, you rarely brick with this deck. Like bricking with this deck is not drawing or not opening a Zodiac. You have like, as you'll see it in a couple of moments. So again, going first is not the most optimal thing. I'd rather want to go second and, you know, blow out my opponent with lightning storms, Nibiru, Mexi, stuff like that, and potentially a big Zeus. But if you're going first, like Vespanato plus the trap or something like that, that's fine, that's perfect. Vespanato also gets something back from the graveyard when it's like destroyed by an opponent's card. So again, fantastic. Vespanato cannot be used as, you know, an exceed material when it's summoned during the turn, but, you know, during your next turn again, just slap on Big Boy Zeus on top of it. And what is it? 5 exceed materials? It should have 5. The effect was kind of lackluster here in this situation. What is it, my opponent? Skull Servant. I mean, it's fine though. You have, again, Big Boy Zeus, and next turn, here, yeah, no follow-up play. Any Zodiac is GG, Thoroughblade, that's definitely more than enough. Slap over or slap on Vespanato, and that's 2.5k to the face. That's nice. Yips. I mean, that's, most of my games are like this. If not, go second, Duster, Raigeki, Lightning Storm, into Zeus for an insta-scoop, a quick scoop. Again, free wins, fast wins, especially if you want to get, what is it, 20, at least 22k medals? Yeah, I think so. Here, definitely equip the Whiptail, you know, it's just like if your opponent's playing Orchestra or stuff like that, you want to banish that face down skeleton or something like that. Here in this case it was zombies or Vendreads. I played against a couple of Vendreads. It's kinda okayish, but here in this case he's going for the level 7, I think. Basically, yeah, Battle Lord. Basically a Shockmaster-alike effect. You know, what does it, banish a Vendread and then call a type, magics, these spell traps, monsters, and or monsters, and that particular card type will get negated for the rest of the entire turn. Just imperm that and you can go from there. Like for Vendreads, I guess Slayer is more of the play to do. I probably should have Zeused first, and it doesn't matter. Again, quick wins. We want to have quick wins. Here, this one. This one takes the cake, or one of those. So again, going first, and what did I mention before? You play like 10 Zodiacs, double tanky, triple desires? 0 Zodiacs. It's fine though. So we ash the Orcust Destiny draw, right? And we can go from there. The continuous spell is there, and the continuous spell, what is it? Every time you're, at least once per turn, right? When your opponent is like summoning or special summoning? I think it's both. Your opponent can foolish, like any, you know, any Orcust monster, I think, or Orcust card, I think it's monster, from his deck to the graveyard, or banish it. The imperm set was a misclick. It is what it is, you know, otherwise I just would have used Zeus and then set imperm. It's fine though. So Skeleton hits the field. Yups, indeed. Zeus is still there. Big Boy Zeus, and here again Whiptail, and that's so cool about it. Again, Zodiacs, just, you know, leave Whiptail attached to one of the Zodiac exceeds and take it to an opponent's face down or whatever in defense. That monster will just get banished. This is an iffy play. I mean, you always want to have at least one Zodiac in hand. Well, here in this case, have Monster Reborn as a follow-up, right? So this is more than enough. So yeah, that's it for you. Zodiacs for the Theme Chronicle event. Enjoy. Peace.